Okay, the bad news first. Nothing has changed at Qatar Airways during the pandemic, and that's the good news at the same time, because everything is just safer, but not less in service or anything else. So, let's go on board Qatar's Airbus A350-900 in business class from Doha to Bangkok. We just landed in Doha from Frankfurt with an Airbus A350-900 equipped with QSuite, and that was a really great flight, even though it was way too short. We're also continuing with an Airbus A350-900, but with the seats that existed already before the introduction of the QSuite and which will stay installed on many Qatar Airways planes. But between the two flights, we're going to the lounge first, and in Doha that's the really large Al Mourjan Lounge that's welcoming business class travelers of Qatar Airways. But here's an information that might save you some disappointment. Not long ago, the airline introduced a new business class fare called Classic, which no longer includes a visit to the lounge. However, you can buy lounge access, which is only worthwhile if you spend several hours there. A visit to the lounge is included in the comfort and elite business class fares, as well as for mile award tickets. But well, I'm getting a bit hungry now, and that's why we first go up the large flight of stairs to one of the two restaurants of the lounge. Internet is good, of course, and the menu can be viewed via QR code. But you should know that without VPN, some apps are generally quite limited in Qatar, such as calls via WhatsApp. That basically doesn't work at all. The buffet is not huge, but both selection and quality are very good. There is a very well stocked bar and everything is there just as it was before the crisis, only that the food is covered now for safety reasons. You can also order a la carte, and unlike many other lounges around the world, everything is offered here as always, only safer.
So I came back from the buffet and the food was already here before me, and here's my view down to the rest of the lounge. Well, it's not the gigantic one of Dubai, but it's one of the biggest, of course, and it's such an elegant lounge and such a nice feeling here. And the staff managed to have even a short personal talk. They really are very good at all these things.
I only have 2 hours in Doha, so there's only time for food and a short walk through the lounge, which is currently not overcrowded as it was before the crisis. But one thing is almost a must here: a 20-minute wellness break between two flights in the beautiful private bathrooms. And you don't have to wait in line here at the moment.
And I got a shower room really on very short notice, and that's really fantastic. And you see the shower rooms are really beautiful, large and spacious, and you must know that's not a first class lounge, it's just the business class lounge, but well, one of the best in the world, and it's really very nice. It's so impressive to see how well all this is done. And they handle the situation here so amazingly well. You don't feel that there is a pandemic actually, although everything is safe and everything, but they handle it with such grace and professionality, and you feel so welcome. It's pretty amazing.
With lots of hand luggage, we're now going to the gate, past the famous yellow teddy bear in the lamp that says hello and goodbye to all passengers in the center of the airport. But what hardly anyone knows is that the cuddly looking bear is actually a bronze sculpture by Swiss artist Urs Fischer, weighing almost 20 tons, and it originally stood in York and was bought for $6.8 million by Qatar's royal family at a Christie's auction.
Well, I asked the lady in the lounge, how far is it to gate C25? And she said it's not so far actually. It's just maybe 10 or 12 minutes. Well, now I see it's really in the very end of the terminal, so it's gonna be quite a run again. Now here's a specialty about Dubai and Doha, where we are right now. There's an extra bus for business class passengers. So yeah, it's pretty empty right now, but the business class today is not empty at all.
And here's the cabin. Everything is in mood lighting because it's already 2 AM and the guests should not get more awake again. And here's my seat, 9A, my place for the next 6 hours to Thailand.
Please fasten your seatbelt for takeoff and landing. Insert the metal end into the buckle until it clicks. And to adjust, pull the strap to tighten the belt.
Qatar Airways has maybe the funniest safety demonstration in the skies at the moment, starring some real soccer stars. So there's little reason not to watch the whole video. Of course, the complete film is also available on the airline's YouTube channel.
And pull it over your head. Bring the tape around your waist and fasten in front. No, don't hold to it. Just wait until you're outside.
Rob, you better run the film while I get this lot sorted out.
For some reason, I've always taken off and landed in Doha on runway 34R so far, including this night, and with a length of 16,000 feet. It's the second longest runway in Asia, right after a runway at a mountain airport at very high elevation in Tibet. If there's no sandstorm passing by, taking off over Doha is really spectacular, and at night downtown is particularly beautiful. A seat by the left window side is therefore worthwhile. Otherwise, it's also a good idea to make a stopover in Doha, since very recently fully vaccinated travelers are allowed again to enter Qatar under certain conditions. There's of course an impressive skyline in Doha, but there's even more exciting places waiting for you, such as the Old Market and the Museum of Islamic Art. And the food tastes great too and is not overpriced.
And we're in the air again, and also on this flight I can see already that staff is always trained here to make this guest feel welcome, and that's a really nice thing here with Qatar Airways. Anyway, even if you have a beginner, sometimes you need to have a beginner too in the staff, of course. Maybe they're not perfect yet, but they're really trained to make the customer feel welcome. So I did already a report about this kind of business class cabin with Qatar Airways, but now we have the COVID version, so to speak. It's a nice cabin, very clean, very tidied up in the look, and here you have a nice area to put stuff. Here's my Amenity Kit and the blanket. Then there's a little thing for the menu and other things. There's something for water, and then there's some space down here. Here in this little compartment you can put stuff that opens up, and well, I got already some champagne, so that's over here, and yeah, we have a nice big TV screen. Yeah, everything looks really nice. I mean, for the feet there's not so much space. I call it a foot coffin, but it's okay, and especially for a flight of 6 hours, that's just fantastic. So I'm really happy.
If you like my flight and travel reports, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it right now with the bell notification. It costs you just one click. I'm really happy, and you're making a big difference for the future of this channel. With 6 or 7 different versions, the airline's fleet probably has one of the most uneven layouts in business class in the industry. This is now my 4th report on Qatar Airways, and each time was very different. Between Japan and South Africa, for example, I was traveling on their Boeing 777 in the very old business class, and some of them are still flying around. Old, but with unlimited legroom, which was actually wonderful. The seats on our flight today are called Super Diamond, and they're manufactured by Collins Aerospace. They're installed on around 2/3 of the A350-900 fleet, as well as on almost all Dreamliners and on the Airbus A380, which is on the ground at the moment. With slight modifications, these seats can currently be found at Air Canada, American Airlines, China Airlines, and with a door also in the new business suite of British Airways. You cannot compare them with the QSuite, of course, but all in all, they're very nice business class seats, all of which have aisle access. Without a partition, however, they do not offer a lot of privacy. And now let's have a look at the lavatories. No matter if you get QSuite seats or not, the toilets are always the same. They're not big, but they're pretty and above all, always clean. There's a refreshing body spray and hand lotion by Rituals, but their hand soap is really impressively exclusive because just like the amenities at the lounge, it's made by Diptyque, and that makes it actually the most expensive soap in the air. The 350 milliliter dispenser costs $70 in stores. Very nice, thank you so much. While everyone around me is asleep, the joys of eating and drinking are beginning for me now, and it starts with some rosé champagne by Laurent Perrier. Since it's a 6-hour night flight with a departure at 2 a.m., the menu consists of light meals, but that doesn't mean that it will get boring or that they will try to save money. The sandwich here is, for example, a bruschetta with lobster claws served with a Caesar salad. During the pandemic, many airlines didn't really win a prize when it came to their board service. Suddenly, instead of a real dinner, they offered sandwiches in disposable packs or chocolate bars in premium class and sparkling wine in plastic cups with tons of plastic waste. Qatar did not do that. Everything was made safer, but not less pleasant for the guest. The crew wore protective clothing at times and the passengers were given protective visors, but this did not mean that they would reduce service or food. In my report on the QSuite, I already showed what high quality all dishes had, and in the middle of the pandemic, and how beautifully they were served. Nothing is different from before the pandemic when it comes to the food quality here. They just paid a lot of attention to safety and cleanliness. Everything is safer, but not less for the customer. Many airlines have not fully understood that. After some dessert wine, there's still some time to lie down, and Qatar provides personal PJs for all passengers in business class, which you can take with you after the flight. Qatar is one of the very few airlines in the world that still offer this, and it really makes a big difference whether you sleep in your PJs or sweat through your clothes. The seat can of course be converted into a flat bed. There's no longer a massage function in the seat as in the old seats of the Boeing 777. Instead, the seat has an adjustable lumbar support. The bed is pretty wide because the armrests retract too, and that makes the seat wider. Unfortunately, there's not so much space for the feet and it is more sort of a foot coffin. Many don't mind that so much, but I prefer to lie on a seat that's maybe less chic but doesn't restrict my legs.
It's actually quite a comfortable bed, except for the end of the feet that's a little too tight. But I simply cannot sleep on a plane. It hardly ever happened to me. But well, it's still nice to lie down and relax and listen to some beautiful classical music, and have a huge selection of that.
The entertainment system here is called ORYX One, and with up to 4,000 music and TV options, it outperforms any Western airline. Only Emirates offers comparable entertainment. The headphones are noise cancelling, and also that is not standard at all in 2021. There's also fast internet on board, but only the first hour is free, and I didn't use it because sometimes I find it really nice to be unavailable. Now a few words about the Amenity Kit, because Qatar Airways really does not go the cheap way with this beautiful BRICS branded bag that can still be used long after the flight. There's not so much in that, but everything is high quality and useful, such as anti-aging cream, face spray and lip cream by Castello Montevibiano. Then of course there's a sleeping mask and it's beautiful and of really good quality. And of course there's socks too. And all this in addition to personal pajamas and slippers. And of course earplugs are in there too. So all in all, this is a really nice amenity kit.
Well, and what can you do if you cannot sleep on Qatar Airways? You can always eat. And that's really good and really a lot.
Since Qatar Airways offers Dine on Demand, you can eat any dish as often and in any order you please. You can also have breakfast when everyone is asleep. And then there's the Great Air Show. It's interactive and you can watch the flight from all directions. In addition, Qatar is planning to introduce a contact-free technology to further minimize risks so everything can be controlled from your own mobile device. And you will also be able to connect your own Bluetooth headphones with the entertainment system.
Please be informed that all the washrooms have now been locked for landing. Thank you. Cabin crew commence final secured.
So also this flight is coming to an end and we're already approaching into Bangkok. Well, this is not a QSuite, but it's still one of the best business class products out there, I would say. And it's also impressive how they manage to do all this during COVID times. I think there was no restriction that I would feel. So really thumbs up for this airline. It's a big accomplishment that they do. And guests always feel so welcome here. Well, and what I really like now is that the window blinds are open and it's not dark anymore. The whole flight was a night flight more or less, even though we are arriving at 1 p.m. The window blinds were down until maybe an hour ago, so everything was dark, even though it was daylight outside. And this I like so much more now. I can look outside, and especially me who cannot sleep on a plane anyway, for me that's really wonderful now.
Suvarnabhumi Airport, Bangkok, Thailand. The local time now is 12:35 in the afternoon. The outside temperature is 31 degrees. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
Quite a highlight, even though rather sad, is currently the taxiing at Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi Airport, because almost the entire fleet of bankrupt Thai Airways is parked here. However, the airline is currently in a restructuring process. It seems unbelievable that I filmed this proud jumbo jet taking off from Phuket only 2 years ago, when I also reported about the possibility to sit in their first class on domestic flights without breaking the bank. And look what I'm holding here, my camera that I lost or left on the plane when I arrived in Bangkok. And actually I had mounted it on the window for approach and I left it there. Well, in the same night I filed a report to Qatar Airways Lost and Found office in Doha. And 2 hours later, in the middle of the night over there, somebody replied personally saying they will look into it. And 2 days later, I'm holding my camera in my hand again in my quarantine hotel room. I cannot believe it. I'm so happy about this and I'm so impressed by the customer service of Qatar Airways. I really have to say that. Well, that sounded almost like a sponsored commercial, but unfortunately it wasn't. As always, I took the flight as a normal passenger. I paid with miles, and in this case I spent 70,000 Asia miles from Cathay Pacific, and that's for the entire route from Frankfurt via Doha to Bangkok. Like Qatar Airways, Cathay Pacific is part of the One World Alliance. I partly collected the miles with flights, and I also transferred points from my American Express credit card. Both Cathay Pacific and Qatar Airways are points transfer partners of American Express, and that's why you can collect a lot of miles without flying through spending and with special promotions on the Amex credit card. So stay healthy, stay tuned and subscribe to the channel, and I'm looking forward to exploring new things again with you very soon here at Travel Sing Fly.